when you really find your groove to pay off your debt, you've established a budget, you've got a plan, like you got your axe to the grind, like you're all business, right? And it's easy, so to speak, to put our blinders on and forget, what we might be missing or sacrificing or whatever, right? We've adjusted to life. Okay? But every now and again I feel like it catches up to us, some of the things that we've given up. Which is depressing, and that's the whole point of this video is I don't want you to get so down on yourself, be so hard on yourself that we lose sight of why it is we're doing this, right? We're doing this to get out of debt, to get that monkey off our back. We're doing this so that we have the freedom to do the things we'd rather be doing with those that we'd rather be doing it with. Okay? And so in the process, for me anyways, it was difficult to stay positive, to remain optimistic, even though I was all focused and wasn't going to let anything deter me from getting out of debt. It never changed the fact that friends wanted to go out to a nice place to eat, and I had to say, no, I can't. Sorry. That sounds so good though, but I can't. Or, hey, we're all going on a cruise. You want to come? I don't have money for that, right? You stack up enough of those and it suddenly gets depressing because you can't do anything, right? You keep yourself from doing things. And so getting out of debt doesn't mean you can't have a life. Although I think if you're creative enough, you can, make accommodations to do similar things, right? If going to dinner is a social thing, and it's often a social thing for me to be with family and friends, right? I adjusted that to, hey, let's do a dinner party. I'll make dinner, right? And I still got the social aspect. It was a lot more affordable for me and whatnot. But if I did want to go out to eat at a nicer place, feel like I could afford it, then I would just not eat out as often that month so that I could afford the nicer places like a melting pot or a Brazilian grill, right? The more expensive places. So there's options, and there's a lot of things that we need to do to maintain a balanced life so that we can handle the stress of not only life, but the stress of getting out of debt and saying no. Here are a few tips that I did to help maintain my sanity while getting out of debt, especially after my grandma said, well, no wonder you're down in the dumps. You're so focused on getting out of debt. I was like, well, am I down in the dumps? Something must be showing more than I'm realizing. So here's 10 things that I did that made a difference. Go to a nice place for dinner. I would save money, like I said, throughout the month. I would not eat out at other places so I could go to dinner this one time during the month for that. Indulge your hobbies. Hobbies are great. Hobbies is what keep us occupied. They're our passion, really. And so some things cost money. Hobbies take money. But maybe we don't buy the real expensive things. So for me, it's photography. I'm not buying new camera bodies or new lenses. Those are really expensive. But there are accessories that I can buy that can enhance what I'm doing, can make it a little more interesting with what I'm doing. And so that's what I would do, is I'd buy tiny accessories for my photography gear and keep shooting pictures. Try new styles, try new things. Take a trip. Go on a vacation. Do something that gets you out of town and seeing new things. For me, I would go out of town. I'd go travel to different cities, visit family, visit friends, see different things, experience different things with them that way. But during the time that I was getting out of debt, I went on 2 different cruises. These are cheaper cruises, right? I'm not going crazy, right? But I went on these cruises, and it was the first times that I had ever gone cruising, and I fell in love with it. It was all inclusive. Everything's there. It was a price that I could plan on. And that's what I really loved, right? If I wanted to go cruising, I needed $1,000, and that included everything. Okay, and it wasn't like traveling abroad or to really big cities where, like, well, I could spend this much here or that there, and you never quite know to the end, right? So, but cruising was very easy for me to get away, relax, reset, but budget 100% for it with no surprises. You might try getting some new clothes, right? A fresh new shirt, pair of pants, shoes, whatever it might be, can be great to just liven things up a little bit. Something new in our life. Going clothes shopping, I didn't do it very often, but every now and again, I would go buy a new shirt. Just something new, something to reward myself basically for doing so well, for having made progress, or hitting milestones. Yeah, like, let's celebrate those small victories, and possibly buying clothes is a great way to do that. They can be fairly inexpensive. To feel like you have a life, I might suggest hosting dinner parties or game nights. Being social and hosting parties might not be your thing, but you probably know someone who does do that. So maybe encouraging them and helping them plan such dinner parties or game nights can go a long way, so that you can be with friends and family without any financial obligation to go and do something. Go get lunch, go get dinner, go get a drink, whatever it is, right? But by doing these dinner parties and game nights, make it so much more affordable, if not free, to just hang out, right? And be with those that you love and like. Buy some cool tech. If you're into technology, right? But for me, buying some cool tech sort of signaled to my mind that life is not as bad as it seems. That I can afford this, right? I'm okay, and that's what I loved, and it helped indulge in things that I liked, that I was interested in, and it really helped boost me up by feeling like I didn't have to say no to literally everything. I have found that family, when everyone's on good terms, right? But within my family, if I ever took the time to share with them what was going on in my life, especially this whole journey of getting out of debt, was well received, and often came back with praises and cheerleading, so to speak. They were cheering me on. They were happy with what I was doing, and supported that. And sometimes being so entrenched with this process of getting out of debt, it's hard to see the bigger picture. You start to question more than anything, is this worth it? Is it worth it? And when you get a cheering section on your side, it keeps you going. There's something psychological about it. Not to mention, that's a benefit to you, but not to mention you can grow your family bonds so that whenever you need each other, you can always count on each other. Find time to exercise. This is a really important one, because when you exercise, you get those wonderful endorphins that just help you feel better, help you feel happy. And when you have those, it's so much easier to confront some of the trials and challenges of life when we're not already down in the dumps, as my grandma likes to say. You just need to spend an hour, 3 times a week or whatever, 1 time a week, to kind of help get things flowing a little easier, get things flowing through your body so that you can get those endorphins to every part of you. So get some exercise. It makes a difference. It really does. My last tip for you is get some sleep. This is so important. I have learned that even though I can function on less sleep, that I can wake up at the crack of dawn or sooner and get stuff done. I can be productive, but I can't sustain it. I can't keep up with it. And that's where I start to struggle. If I don't get a regular amount of sleep, a consistent amount of sleep every night, things start to fall apart. I might survive one day with little sleep, 2 days, 3 days with little sleep. But if it goes on much longer than that, when problems start to arise in my life, whether it's conflict at work and with the family, people just annoy me because they drive terribly, whatever, my patience runs very thin. And it's just very difficult to rationalize behavior and look at things more optimistically.